We are live 364 days a year. What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get sushi after Monday Night Raw?
What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Shad Talks Graps, and we are back with another installment of the Wrestling Republic daily broadcast. Man, we are here at a little later time because we had to watch Monday Night Raw, and normally we do this Monday Night Raw review on Tuesdays. We're doing it today, man. We're coming live in effect, and man, we had a crazy show, but we are going to have a crazier show today because it's game week, Thursday, the Super Bowl defending champions, Philadelphia Eagles, are going to piss down the Dallas Cowgirls' leg. And I can't do this without my Eagles fans. First and foremost, we got my bro, Anthony. How you doing, man?
All right. Go Birds. Of course. I'm going to be in the building for this. So I can't wait for that. And obviously this is a Raw review, but let's be honest. This is more of a tribute show to the Eagles. Let's be real when we look at this panel.
Yeah, man. We are definitely going to be telling every pundit on ESPN, FS1, the whole nine, why they got our team messed up. But last but not least, man, we got another fellow Eagles fan in the house. My dog, Josh. How you doing, bro?
What's up, everybody? Doing great. It's Birds game week. I know we got to talk about Monday Night Raw or Monday Afternoon Raw. We could call it here in the United States since it started at 2 p.m., which honestly I don't mind. And happy Labor Day to everyone as well. But look, it's game week. I think Ben put together this panel for a reason. He knows we're the best team in the league. We're the defending champs. We're gonna, like you said, Shad piss down the Cowboys. And unfortunately, I'm stuck in Giants territory here in upstate New York and Syracuse, so it's not fun. But you know what? Being an Eagles fan is always fun. We're the best. We're the best.
It's all good, man. I'm in commando land in the DMV outside of DC.
It's not fun.
I'm the only one in the safe zone.
I know you are the only one in the safe zone.
Enjoy it.
And it's definitely, he's going to be, like you said, live at the link, man. It's going to be great. But you know what? We can't, as much as I would love to, we can't talk about the Eagles all podcast. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Let's talk about the meat and potatoes of this entire show. Let's talk about what closed off this past pay-per-view or PLE at Clash in Paris. Two of the best on the mic stepped in the ring tonight. The greatest men's mic, the greatest women's mic, people will argue. They had a way of words against each other. It was CM Punk. It was Becky Lynch. And it was Becky Lynch being uber disrespectful, completely just slapping Punk in the face. Punk just wants to go against Rollins. He wants to get vengeance on Rollins. Becky saying, nope, not on my dime. You ain't messing with my man. Like, just completely, like, disrespecting the hell out of him. And Punk said he's going to get his vengeance on Mr. Rollins. But he says he got something for Becky. Also, we have to notice what came later on this episode. He had a little conversation with Adam Pearce asking where SmackDown is going to be. It said Chicago. He had a big smile on his face. We talked about it in depth yesterday on the Daily. We talked about it on the Wrestling Republic podcast as well. That came out this morning. But man, oh man, has the vision become a lot more clear. And I'm not talking about their faction. I'm talking about the potential return of one AJ Lee. Look, I will start off on this. The way that they alluded to AJ Lee, obviously, with Becky responding to the crowd, chanting her name, and everything Punk has said into it. The way Punk just reacted to, man, I need to get her back too. And I got the perfect medicine for that. I got my lady at home that can handle this. And then the closing segments of it's in Chicago. Perfect. If it is not AJ Lee, it may be one of the biggest letdowns this entire year in pro wrestling. But I have a feeling that they're going to deliver. And I have a feeling that she is going to make her return. But all in all, man, I loved everything about this segment. I think both of them did a tremendous job. I want to know what y'all thought about it, man. Anthony, I'm going to open the segue for you first. Give me your thoughts on the Punk versus Becky Mike segment. And, do you think this is leading to Miss AJ Lee returning?
I absolutely love this segment. What I've said multiple times before on this podcast is the fact that professional wrestling has kind of lacked a real, true, compelling story recently. Punk Rollins does it. I know people complain, it's them again. It's a grudge. Anybody that's gone through life and has found somebody that they don't like, they don't just get over the grudge just like that. It brews. It's a slow build. That's one of the things the IWC complain about. It's too much of a slow build. No, they want that instant gratification. I'm completely fine with them slow rolling this. And it's leading to a major event. It's their first show on ESPN. They're going to go all out. Oh, yeah, and it's also competing with All Out. So you're going to do that. Punk and Becky and Seth, and yes, it will be AJ Lee. The reason it works is because it blurs those lines between real and fictional. We know Seth legitimately doesn't like Punk, and we know Punk probably doesn't like Seth either. A lot of that stems from the way Punk left the company, and Seth took it upon himself that he picked up the ball that Punk dropped when he left and views it as, I've helped build this company back up, and now you're just coming in because everything fell apart where you were when you were trying to bring us down. That all works. Now, we know they work together because they did WWE Unreal, which you could clearly see they're all sitting in a circle discussing the Elimination Chamber. But from storyline standpoint, this works. There's a lot of legit animosity. I don't know if Becky legitimately has animosity towards Punk, or it's the animosity of supporting her husband who has animosity with him. I don't know. But either way, I think this is the first true time, at least in WWE, that two husband and wives are probably going to be facing each other at WrestlePalooza on September 20th. This is a smart move because Punk and Seth, they got their thing. World title. That's a compelling rivalry for a relatively young world title that has not been around a significant amount of time, but there's a lot of lineage and pedigree with both Seth and Punk. Then you have Becky with the secondary women's title, the Intercontinental title, which has kind of struggled. The secondaries have struggled. What bigger way than have Becky in a feud, potentially, with one of the people that have been, coined part of the revolution in WWE in AJ Lee, a dominant Divas champion back in the day. This is like this jersey. They're going to be printing money. It's green. That's what this feud's going to be. So I'm all in to see where they go with this. Punk not dropping Becky. As tempted as I'm sure he was, the GTSer. There was nobody around, but he didn't do it. He held back because AJ's going to jump her. And I got to be honest, at one point during the night when they were doing that, and the way the camera angle was, I'm like, is AJ going to pop up behind her? Because I had it just the way they shot that, I could have totally seen her pop up behind her, but she didn't. Chicago's an ideal spot. They live in Chicago. I think they split time between that and LA because I think AJ does a lot of Hollywood stuff now. But Punk has been on record saying he's been trying to get her back to come back into the company. It's not the same company that they left all those years ago. So I'm very much all for this.
For sure. And I definitely agree off of the fact that I do think pro wrestling has been missing a big time storyline, and this is one of those situations where I think they are answering the fans with the fantasy booking of it. I will say this: I had to course correct you for a second. We did have the Miz and Maurice versus Edge and Beth Phoenix.
Yes, that was a while back. Yes. That is true.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where I'm like, I wasn't 100% certain on that one because I couldn't really remember that one, but this one's probably bigger.
No,
The
no, it's
name
for
the
sure
name
bigger.
values
No
in this one is
disrespect to the
definitely the
Miz and
biggest.
Maurice. No
Yes.
disrespect to the Miz and Maurice.
No, no.
It's definitely. I mean, to that point, it's like it's for people that are renowned as top of the game once it's all said and done. Like Becky Lynch, I always say I think she's the greatest WWE Women's Superstar of all time. A lot of people think AJ Lee is the greatest WWE Women's Superstar of all time. People are going to put Punk and Rollins both in Mount Rushmore conversations or in Hall of Fame conversations when their careers are done. And it's going to be magnificent. I do want to go through a couple comments first because
go right ahead.
I want to go to Josh as well. Look at this pathetic Dallas fan just trying to wreak our happiness. All Eagles WR show say that. Bro, y'all traded Micah Parsons. Go get a Packers jersey, Des.
You got to feel bad for Cowboys fans.
I mean, do you have a VCR, Des? Because you can relive the glory.
You ain't even old enough to know what a VCR is. It's good, Des.
Sorry,
Des the homie.
What's up, Des?
Yeah, man. DCX Warlord saying his call has been answered. No, it's not, because you probably thought Tony D'Angelo was going to be the extra
Which
member
really
of the
wouldn't have
division.
made any sense, to be honest with you.
Nah,
We were talking
no
about
sense.
it in the chat, in the call yesterday.
The watch along, yeah. None of us made
they're
any
like,
sense.
Oh, my goodness, man. Fernando Zayas here. Good afternoon. I got to give a special shout out. The Atomic Merp. What's good? My homegirl, she is great people. I told her, yo, you got to be on the comments today. She said, say less. She's here. We also got Roundhead saying he just left the arena, which is really dope, man. I hope you had a good time and enjoyed the show. The biggest takeaway is that Alicia Taylor had a bigger pop than Dragon Lee.
I believe it.
Yeah. Kiana James also did not get any reaction in France, which may be the most difficult thing that you can try to do, but she accomplished it, man. Congrats to her.
Yeah, if you don't get a reaction in Paris, you got to look yourself in the mirror. I mean, it is tough not to get a reaction.
It is insane, bro. But I want to ask you, Josh, man, what are your thoughts, obviously, on the segment that happened tonight? And then, do you think we are going to have our answer, our question answered? Is AJ Lee going to make her return this Friday?
Yeah, it's the same thing as her husband. Before CM Punk returned to WWE and even before AEW, we were always calling for him. And it felt like it was a constant cycle of, oh my God, we may get him. We're not getting him. Oh, wait, hold up. Oh, wait, we're not getting him. It's a constant cycle of like, wait a minute. And then it's like, oh, okay. But look, this was the biggest tease we've seen yet. And I'll get to that. But for the promo itself, man, this was one of the best promos in recent memory of Raw, for me at least. I mean, everything about it worked. Rollins sending out his wife to do the talking for him was picture perfect. He's the narcissistic, arrogant champion who sends people to do things for him, even his wife. And that was a great little part of the story. But look, Becky Lynch and Shad, I know you are massive on Becky Lynch, like you just said, and you always have been. But Becky Lynch is incredible. I mean, she went toe-to-toe with debatably the greatest talker in wrestling history. She plays this heel role perfectly, and I can already tell that this Becky and Seth pairing is going to kill it. And it just works. Becky is this evil assistant alongside the villain of Seth Rollins, and there's that love relationship as well in real life, and I love it. But, I mean, look, during this segment, she played that bully that doesn't care about anyone but herself and her husband. She slapped Punk across the face several times, asking Punk to hit her. I really thought Punk was going to hit the GTS, but when he didn't, I was like, okay, AJ Lee is coming back. And before, I was like, there's no way AJ Lee comes back, but then Becky's responding to AJ Lee chants, Punk saying, Becky, you're going to regret that, but not putting his hands on her. That really makes me think we're going to see AJ Lee, but it's just one of those things that would just be, even though I really, really believe it's going to happen, I would still be so surprised by it. Like, it's so hard to keep secrets in this business, and if this is what's happening, it has been kept top tier secret, and that's also just a testament to how big of a storyline this is going to be, how big of a superstar AJ Lee still is. If that return happens, man, AJ Lee return, Indianapolis, ESPN premiere, WrestlePalooza, it just makes sense. It would be an incredible, incredible tag team match. And look, everyone wants to see that, but, shout out to Becky and CM Punk. What a promo that was. No one expected CM Punk and Becky to go toe-to-toe. Everyone thought it was going to be Rollins and Punk, but incredible work. Tip of the hat.
For sure, man. And dude, I gotta also just agree with that. Becky Lynch is one of the greatest talkers herself in her own rightful place, man. Like, if there needs to be a textbook on how to cut promos, they need to let her teach a class on it in the PC for all of these up and coming wrestlers, because she knows how to generate heat. She knows how to get the crowd on her side. She's such a Swiss Army knife when it comes to being able to talk. And like you said, being able to step up in the promo matchup against someone as amazing as CM Punk and not look beneath him at all. Look toe to toe in this tonight, looked above him, obviously, because she had to get the upper hand in it. Was incredible. And I think, to me, like, this dynamic between her and Seth is going to be like a Triple H and Stephanie McMahon dynamic, is that couple that's going to be so powerful.
The authority.
Yeah. That's why I always say Seth is like Little Hunter to me in a sense, right? Like, I don't know, like, we were talking about it, comparing him to Michaels, but I think character-wise, he's so much like Triple H to me.
Absolutely.
And also, Trek reviewer, you were talking crazy. Okay, we're gonna lose to
How'd that work out last time? Okay.
I'm Shad, bro. I'm Shad. That's who Shad is. I can comment too while you talking crazy. Thank you for watching the show, man. Don't feel alarmed. Don't leave. We're all having fun here. You have two favorite teams, it seems. You are rooting against two teams. You root for two AFC teams that don't like each other.
Little conflict of interest.
Philly versus everybody.
Yeah, you should probably watch a different sport and probably watch Star Wars instead of Star Trek. Anyways, let's go to the next topic, because speaking of women's wrestling, we got a big time match announced for WrestlePalooza, and it is going to be for that vacant Women's World Championship. Stephanie Vaquer, who is the number one contender from winning the Battle Royal, versus our previous champ prior to Naomi, Miss Io Sky. We know these women have the best chemistry against each other. They have gone against each other 2 times already, both weird finishes, but they can tear the roof down. Incredible workers. This is a big time match, and I'm excited for it, but I'm also excited for everything that ties the Io Sky, because Asuka, man. Asuka, my God. She was the MVP tonight on the show in my mind. From all the backstage segments, obviously the match that they had, the just her in the weeds behind Io with whatever she does has me so interested to see what's going to happen in this match. Whether if Io wins, whether she loses, I'm not entirely sure, man. But I want to know if you have an answer for it, Anthony. What are your thoughts on this match being announced, and then just everything? Like, I feel like I know the complaint is a storyline. I think Io's covering the storyline on her behalf with everything that's going on with Asuka and Rhea and the Kabuki Warriors and all that.
Angry Asuka is always entertaining. Whether you understand what she's saying or not, her angry just kind of, it's entertaining. I find it entertaining every time, especially when she yells as she's storming away. No, this is arguably 2 of the best women's wrestlers on the Raw brand in Stephanie and Io, battling for the women's championship. I mean, Rhea is obviously in that argument too. So was Asuka, Bailey. I mean, there's a number of people that could be battling for this belt, but these two kind of work. I think they don't really have too much history as rivals. So it's unique. It's different. I'm very interested to see where this goes. Obviously, Asuka's going to play a role in this. You can either go Io wins this with the help of Asuka, and then you kind of have that feud go off, or you have Stephanie win this thing, and Asuka goes after Io and Vaquer, and you do a 3-way. Like, there's so much potential for this that this isn't just a one and done. Like, it's not going to be. It's a marquee match that you can obviously promote, as we've said in the previous segment, the first ESPN PLE. So you're going to want to go big. So I have a feeling they are going to go all out with this. like they do. They're going to do everything else because again, this is going head to head with the competition. So they're going to go to an extreme on this. So I'm fully expecting as the weeks go by, we're going to see more. I know people want to complain. The IWC wants to complain. It's not quick enough. It's not quick enough because they want everything instant. I get it. But slow build really is kind of what drives the business, whether they want to admit that or not. I know that, that IWC generation's like, oh no, we want something instant gratification. You don't always get that. That's in life. So, it'll be what it'll be, but I think it'll be.
I need a new segment, Anthony versus the IWC.
Listen, it doesn't matter what anybody does in wrestling. The IWC will find something to complain about. I don't care who.
Of course.
If the IWC wanted Roman Reigns to win the championship, they'd instantly go, nah, this is boring. We want our truth. Like, it doesn't matter what they do. WWE is always the evil empire. Tony Khan is always the billionaire that's spending daddy's money. Like, there's always this complaint.
Yeah.
Like, they're never going to be satisfied. Just watch what you want to watch and enjoy what you want to enjoy. Stop complaining.
No, you're not wrong on that. I don't have a lot of disagreement on that take. I think obviously we can, we do our jobs as reviewers and podcasters and stuff. But at the end of the day, we do love this stuff and we respect the companies that put the products out there for us. So it is great to see. One thing that is also great to see is our ad break that I'm going to put on right now. And the beauty of it is that a lot of these adverts tie to us at Wrestling Republic, like the Wrestling Republic Undercard channel. If you haven't already, you need to go ahead and subscribe to our second channel, Wrestling Republic Undercard. This is where you can find exclusive video, clips, much more, a lot of second shows that we have sold separately with Anthony and Clark. We have a lot of the NXT off the air post shows that we have during this whole dual shows on weekend situations. We do a lot of our off the air ones on that, as well as Sunday Spotlight and Grappling for Position. So go ahead and watch all the amazing content that we have on there. Also, do not forget to download the Etsy app on your App Store or Google Play Store. Once you download it, go up to the upcoming stream section and make sure you follow us as well as Big Ant. Man, it's a fun space. I know a lot of people say they want to go ahead and argue and bicker with us on our takes. This is your opportunity to do so. Ant, Clark going live all the time. I'm on there sometimes, man. You got to go ahead and do that. And last but not least, if you haven't already, Allison Analysis. Ben, he got his own page as well. Subscribe to that. This is where you'll find his key findings from Raw, SmackDown, and much more. He'll be dropping one for this episode today, too. So, as on top of us talking about Raw, you get an idea of what he thought about Raw as well. And see if he liked it or if he disliked it. He got his key findings and all. All right. Let's talk about the French savant that is AJ Styles. The most over man in that country. My goodness, man. AJ Styles, the reaction he gets, he must have took Kiana James' reaction too, and they saved it for him as well for tonight because it was absolutely amazing. Obviously, we saw it last time they were out there, but him and Dom, they had themselves an Intercontinental title match. Man, they were doing what they needed to do. They were having a great match. But El Grande Americano version 5 had to ruin it. He had to ruin it. Comes out, still played on his mask, helps Dirty Dom get the win. I have no idea what we're going with this storyline. I'm intrigued to kind of see what like Ludwig and I want to know what the other variants do. Like they got like 4 of these dudes. And also, why are all the Americanos European? They gotta change the name a little bit, right? Josh, I want to know your thoughts on this.
Gable's not European.
Yeah, true. He's the one that spoiled that he was him, isn't he?
He's the original, yeah.
Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this because I'm very upset this was not the main event. Title match, Dom and AJ, 2 of the most over wrestlers, period. Then you get to Paris. AJ Styles is the most over wrestler in the history of the sport in Paris. Dom, of course, is over anywhere he goes, but when you go to a crowd as big and popular as Paris, France, yeah, you're going to be over. So how do you not make this the main event? And the big thing with me is, one, just for the feel of it and the vibe of the match, make it the main event. It's a title match. You don't always get to see title matches on Raw. And it also would elevate the status of the Intercontinental Championship. But another thing for me is, look, if you go to television, Raw or SmackDown, NXT, and you have a title match, but it's not the main event, it feels predictable. It feels like, okay, there's going to be an interference. AJ's not winning this match. That's how I felt. When I heard AJ's music hit and it wasn't the main event, I thought to myself, damn, AJ's not winning the belt in Paris. And it happened. It was true. But look, on the bright side of all this, the pros of all this, I'm so impressed with Dominic Mysterio, man. Watching his in-ring progress is incredible. He's legitimately hitting moves that Phoenix, Dragon Lee, some of the best luchadors in the industry right now are pulling off. And to see where he came from, watching him go against Rollins in his debut match in the Thunderdome to now, he gets better and better every day. And Wade Barrett said it on commentary earlier, like iron sharpens iron. It's exactly what's going on. And I'm super impressed. But look, yeah, I mean, in terms of AJ, I would have loved him to win in Paris. It would have been electric. But it's hard to take this title off Dom. He's so hot right now, and he's not quite ready yet for a world heavyweight run. So he's in this awkward middle where you can't really see him in a world title picture yet. You could see him fighting for it. You can't exactly see him beating Rollins or Punk or Reigns or anyone like that. But you also don't want to see him give up his mid-card title because he is in that awkward spot where he's really near the main eventers, but he just needs more time. So, it's tough. It's tough because I'm sure WWE wanted to see AJ win the belt in Paris too. Believe me, the IWC wanted to see it too. So did we. But it's hard to take the belt off Dom. But I get where the IWC says with the whole disrespect to Styles, doesn't get a match with Cena, gets booked to lose, but. Look, it's harder than people realize to take this belt off Dom. He's killing it. He's killing it. There's no other way to say it.
And I so here's the thing. I don't disagree with Dom winning as well. Like I honestly didn't expect Styles to win. And obviously we got some comments that I want to tie into it. Atomic Merp saying she agrees once she realized that it wasn't main eventing, she knew Dom was going to retain. We got a comment from this new commenter in here. Treon Shanker saying, can we just talk about how bad Styles is booked? The greatest in-ring wrestler isn't on Clash, isn't even on the main event in the city. He is God for a bunch of bums being the yeah man and the yeet man. It's not done. The worst part is he didn't even win. The thing is, Dom is going to win at Worlds Collide because if Styles won here, we could have set up Styles versus Cena later. The ball fraud looking like a bum. Look, man, this is going to be one that is difficult because it really depends where I don't think Styles needs to be in the mid-card title picture personally. And that's the thing. I don't think him being the IC champ really does anything for him unless you have a group of guys that you can kind of help build up. But Dom at the moment, it kind of does help his character. I just wish there was a little bit more visibility with him defending head or whatever it may be. Like little stuff like that.
Here's the thing. I think AJ Styles is on his farewell tour. I do. I think he's probably done possibly at Mania, is my guess. At this point, he doesn't need any titles. He's padding an already Hall of Fame stat credentials. He's going in the TNA Hall of Fame whenever that time comes. He's going to WWE. He's going to go down as one of the GOATs. As far as him getting Cena, simple solution here. Cena's never held the Intercontinental title. Just do a triple threat with Cena, AJ, and Dom, and you check 2 boxes with 1 match. That's all you got to do. It's not that hard.
No, I don't hate that idea. And then Atomic Burp also saying they'd be silly to have him as a double champ if he does pull it off of Vikingo. I think he's gonna beat Vikingo. I think he's going to beat Vikingo.
No doubt.
That's AAA saying that we need that. And then also I got to show this one as well, man. Roundhead saying the arena was going nuts for AJ. Was doing a phenomenal chant like 10 times straight before the match. Yeah, y'all were loud, bro. You salute to you guys. Y'all were having a ball, having a lot of fun out there. And then Topic Murph also saying, Anthony, you cooking, bro. So just like we're gonna be cooking the Cowboys on Thursday. But and also, hold on, I want one other comment. Actually, I wanted to go back to. My bad. The guy who I was meaning to earlier, Trek reviewer, Goldberg being retired now. Ray Styles, Jeff Jarrett, Jericho, are they the last active wrestlers from WCW? I don't know. We gotta look at that. I feel like we gotta kind of go.
Ray and Jericho for certain are the two off the top of my head
Like,
that
I know
have.
Styles wrestled there for a little bit, but I don't really
technically, if you want to go there, Charles Robinson, who's still an active referee in WWE, started in WCW. So those
Dustin
are the
Rhodes. Was
Dustin, yes, Dustin is the other one.
Yeah.
It's very few and far between at this point. I know Big Show technically hasn't. I don't know if he's officially retired, but technically he's still technically floating. You can argue that, but as far as active, it's probably Ray and Jericho and Dustin.
Yeah. And I guess, Jarrett, I know he did some storylines, but I feel like he doesn't really wrestle as much anymore now.
When you talk about with the IWC, I got such flack for no one requested a Jeff Jarrett retirement tour. And clearly I was right because AEW canceled it because no one wanted it. And AJ Styles as well because he was in
that's what the comment said earlier too. It's crazy. Salute to Ring of Honor. I thought they had a great show this past weekend.
It was phenomenal. I was there.
Jay Lethal being on the undercard, I was like, man, we are so past. Jay Lethal was that dude in Ring of Honor.
Here's a wild insight thing with that opening match was the dark match, same match before Dynamite this week.
Oh, they ran it 2 times in a row.
Was it
They changed it slightly, but a lot of the same spots.
Right.
The finish was different, but everything else was.
That is weird to do, especially in a small venue in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
people.
Many
people on that roster too.
Yeah. In particular, the spot where Jay goes for the lethal ejection and Jordan Oliver kicks him in the back.
Yeah.
That was both nights.
Oh man. Wow. All right. Well, let's get into this main event because we had the Can They Coexist team that was Jey Uso and LA Knight. Jey Uso started off the show. LA Knight came through. A little bit of a promo exchange against each other. And then the Brawns came through, man. Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker, man, showing a lot more character nowadays also. I like he's really tapping into that Scott Steiner bag with the charisma and stuff more nowadays. But it sets up to the main event, man. We have ourselves a tag match, a solid bout. The Brawns get the win, absolutely annihilate Jey Uso post-match, go for the ribs. And we get a save. We get a save from Big Brother, I guess, about a couple minutes. Jimmy Uso, Big Jim coming through. And, I guess this is going to possibly lead to the Usos versus the Brawns of the Vision. I'm not upset with it. I think it being the main event, it was fine. These guys are pretty high on the card at this point, obviously within their faction, and obviously you got Jey Uso, LA Knight. These dudes are over. They just wrestled in the main event the night before. It's cool. It makes sense. This is an interesting comment before we start because Jimmy did pop out. Does this mean Jimmy was the trade for Sami Zayn? Does this mean Big Jim is back? And if that is the case, does that mean we get the Usos back? I'm going to start with you first, Anthony. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think we get the return of the Usos now?
You essentially trade one Uso for another Uso, essentially, if that's the case. No, I loved the opening segment. I do want to talk about that because we didn't cover that. I love the Jay LA Knight dynamic because I do think LA Knight's probably going to do the heel feud with him at some point. I think it's going to be interesting going into Survivor Series because I think you're going to get pieces of the Vision in the Brawns, which we totally need that on a shirt. If they release a Braun shirt, I might pick that up, depending upon what the design is. But I think you're going to get pieces of that, maybe pieces of Solo's group to feud with. I think it's going to be mixed. I'm leaning to think that the men's is going to be mixed now. But it was what it was. It was a decent little match. The crowd is obviously hot. Because they don't get this that often. That's one of the things. European crowds are hot, but I think it's especially hot because they don't get it as much. And that certainly helps with the visual of watching the show because, if it's a dead crowd, it hurts the presentation. So I think this absolutely helped. Both Bronze look so good. They are doing great stuff with them. They're selling Bronson Reed being this monster, this Bam Bam Bigelow meets Vader mix that he has going on, completely decimating people, taking out Roman Reigns, taking out this one, taking out that one. It's awesome. Every time Braun Breaker delivers that spear, it's devastating looking. And he probably has the best spear of anyone I've ever seen. I think it's better than Goldberg's even during peak. As great as that was, as great as Rhino's gore is, Breaker's just looks like he tears someone in half. And the fact that he's able to do this, as far as we know, safely, is wild. The fact that he's not injuring the people that he's completely destroying it, as the announcers tell you, 23 miles an hour, you got to give him a lot of credit for that because the margin of error has to be incredibly small not to injure somebody. And he does that is wild and as devastating as anything. I think something that was said yesterday, I think perhaps during the watch along when we were watching it and talking about the way he just came out of nowhere and speared Roman on the ramp. And I think Archie said it. He floats. It reminds me of Michael Jordan. It was that people said he floated when he would go for the dunk. That's kind of what I feel like with Braun Breaker. Like he just kind of floats. It like almost time stands still and he almost goes in slow motion when you just see him fly and just take somebody out. But I agree with you, Shad. I definitely think it's the Usos against the Braun Bronze, probably at WrestlePalooza.
Yeah, man. I'd be excited for it, man. I think it's good to have the Usos back in some captivity. I don't think Jay is gonna be in the world championship picture for a little bit. I think they let him have his reign and kind of do what he did this last show. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes. I do want to read a couple comments. We have a lot, man. Y'all are awesome today, man. We got Shriyan Shankar saying, I'm thinking Jay's heel turn is more interesting. He tapped in it without the reload of the song. Okay, yeah, in the beginning of the intro, he didn't want to do that. I thought it was more so of a serious, like he was feeling the type of way. But that's the character depth I would like to see him added more because they did kind of they have made him just be like a, gimmick. I didn't even say like a gimmick guy, but a gimmick guy for what he gets over and whatnot. Atomic Merp said, I need a heel NXT LA Knight soon once the sponsorship dies down a little bit. Yeah, them sponsorships are them sponsorships. When you got a niche, you got a niche. Josh, I want to know your thoughts, man, on this main event. Also, Braun Bronze, Usos, do you think this is coming up as well?
Yeah, I think there's no doubt the Usos are reuniting again, and it's great because look, I think the tag team division needs them. Not saying the tag team division is bad in any way, but it's one of the greatest tag teams ever. They're on everybody's Mount Rushmore and they're reuniting. So they had to reunite for a little bit when they faced against like Roman and Solo Sikoa, but let's make them permanently reunite, come back together, be the Usos, open up the Uso Penitentiary one last time. Yes, absolutely. I think that's going to happen. It's going to be the Usos versus the Bronze at WrestlePalooza, which honestly, it seems like WrestlePalooza is just lining up to be a lot of tag team matches, but we'll see what happens when the card's officially announced. But in terms of Braun and Bronson, I got to agree with both of you guys. Man, they feel like superstars. I mean, I want to tip my hat to WWE Creative because them taking Roman out last night made them feel like legitimate top tier heels. And look, Bronson touched the mic tonight in the opening segment and was immediately met with boos during the opening segment. This is a guy that didn't get many reactions, and now here he is getting booed out of the stadium. And then during the match, giving an absolute beatdown, taunting two of the best superstars and the most over superstars on the roster. I feel like this trip to Paris truly elevated Braun and Bronson to stardom level. If they were not already there already, it elevated them to that stardom level. And they needed that win tonight. They got that win, and I'm very happy they got it. And of course, per usual, the whole tsunami mid post match attack, it's gonna happen every time. And yeah, WWE is just taking these two guys and making them look destructive, making them look like they don't care about anybody. They're gonna get through anybody's way and go all the way to the top, and they're gonna take out your favorite baby faces on the way. And it is it's a sight to see, and it's incredible what they've done so far. And I'm excited to see them maybe hold the belts. We'll see. Tag team belts. I think they're coming for it.
No doubt, man. I'm excited to see what we get in regards to that, man. I think the thing is, both of these guys, like you mentioned, they have built so much star power through being in this faction. It is one of those things where, like, yeah, they like, especially like Bronson Reed this past weekend, talking about, like, even in defeat, being in that big time match against one Roman Reigns and then basically clearing him out, man, just completely finishing him for an extended time. Now he's written off. So
I think LA Knight was the trade for Sammy. Now I'm thinking about it.
A lot of people in the comments are saying that. So Trek saying he thinks that he's going to be world champ by the year.
I don't think so.
I don't either. I would love to see it. I would love to see him become a world champion at some point, but I don't know if that happens. So
I don't think LA Knight's ever touched in the World Heavyweight Championship. I just don't.
If he does, it's a transitional champion. It's not going to be a long reign.
Yes, no doubt.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens amongst, like, if there's any injuries or anything like that. So
yeah, that's always subject to yeah.
But all right, man, that is all the time that we have today. Thank you guys in the comments. We will be back same time tomorrow. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe all the channels that we have. Watch all the shows that we have. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for a more Monday show tomorrow. We switching the topics because of the Raw being on today. But we'll catch y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. And remember, go Birds!
Go Birds!